everybody. It's Modern Era Fitness Podcast. Caleb here, and with me today, I've got Mike Walsh. Say hi.
Hi.
Wait a second. You sound sexier than normal.
Oh, you.
Just kidding. It's not Mike Walsh. It's my wife, Kelly.
Hi.
Who is joining us today because Mike, actually, business is booming. He's training clients right now. If you are curious about what he does and are in the Salem area, feel free to check out the website northwestforge.org and see what he's doing and get in on the fun that is happening right now. Kelly.
Caleb.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
How's your week?
Good. Good. Been off for a few days and yucking it up.
What do you do? I mean, I know what you do. A lot of these questions are going to sound dumb to you and maybe to most people, but tell the people what you do.
I am a nurse in the emergency department.
What kind of a nurse? Like CNA, RN?
RN.
What is?
Registered nurse.
And what does that mean education-wise?
I have a bachelor's degree. Is
that required for an RN?
I'm glad you asked. That's what I was just going to say. The certification, the NCLEX is the same whether you have an associate's or a bachelor's degree.
And what?
NCLEX. It's the nursing licensure exam. NCLEX.
Okay.
My hospital is a magnet hospital, which stands for excellence in nursing, and so they try to only hire nurses with a 4-year degree. So
interesting.
Yes.
Are people sour about that? Like people that can't get a job?
No, and they do. They do. If you enroll in the program, the RN to BSN program, within a certain amount of time, they'll hire you with a 2-year degree, and it's all. I mean, it's the same test.
Yeah.
They know the same stuff, so it's all good.
Interesting.
But I'm proud to work there.
Yeah, I'm proud that you work there.
Thank you.
It's pretty cool. Being an RN in an emergency department, I imagine that's a pretty stressful job.
Mm-hmm.
Stressful.
That's a fair statement.
Schedule. How do you cope with that? Like a few episodes back, we were talking about physical activity as a form of therapy, and living in the same house as you and knowing you, both in the biblical sense and the friend sense.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. What do you do to kind of cope? What exercises or activities do you do to help you kind of cope with?
Deal with it?
Yeah.
Well, very important to me is my morning quiet time where I read my Bible and pray and kind of just reflect and get myself ready for the day. So that's a non-negotiable part of my day. And then, as I think you might anticipate me answering, another really integral part of my stress management is my workout time. And so...
And you've got a few different activities that you like to do for that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Name them. We'll start there.
Okay. CrossFit, cycling, running, hiking. I like anything where I'm moving, but especially CrossFit and cycling are kind of my big things. And depending on how much time I have, sometimes will dictate what I do.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And cycling is a relatively new, a budding interest of yours, as I understand.
Yeah,
somebody
got me a sweet bike for my birthday. So now I have a way to do it, and I love it. I feel so happy and free when I'm riding my bike.
And you just completed a nice little ride on Sunday.
Yes, I did.
With the ladies group from Bike Peddler.
Mm-hmm. The best bike shop ever. And they have a monthly 20 to 25 mile beginner-friendly ride to just orient you to longer distances. And so I had a wonderful time with my friends, and it was great.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's really cool. Going back to CrossFit, actually ties in with our last episode when we talked about the high intensity and the CrossFit exercise model.
I know. I kept wanting to answer back.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking you could do. So I imagine we probably got some things wrong and some things right. why don't we start with the things that we did right?
It's a metaphor for life.
Yeah.
Some things wrong, some things right.
Yeah.
Well,
how accurate do you think we were with our
I don't know a lot about the beginnings of CrossFit.
Oh, and that's fine.
All that kind of thing.
But you as a participant, what have?
Well, what you said about the great trainers at my CrossFit Salem, was spot on, and I feel so thankful for them because
shout-outs?
Yes, Andy, Mike, Teresa, Billy, everyone there is.
Do you know all of their
so
Twitter
rad.
handles?
What's a Twitter? The big thing that I want to dispel, if anybody believes this about CrossFit, is that we spend a huge amount of time before every lift, every Metcon, everything working on form. Metabolic conditioning.
Okay.
And so that could be any number of things depending on the day. But they spend a ton of time making sure individually that everybody uses the right form so that we don't get hurt. And so it bothers me when people think that that's not the case, because it's first and foremost, they want to make sure nobody gets hurt. So that's something that I appreciate, because I also don't want to get hurt.
And do you think that is it possible that other CrossFit gyms are doing crappy with form, or do you think that they've fixed that, or was it never a problem as far as you know?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I have only ever experienced just a few times the West Salem CrossFit, which I also thought was very good. Other than that, I haven't been to any, but I would imagine that it's like anything else, and that you have some people that are exemplary and some that aren't very good. So
yeah.
Luckily, everyone at mine is rad.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. So what did we get wrong? Was there anything that really stood out on our assessment?
I didn't like that Mike doesn't like kipping pull-ups.
I had a feeling you wouldn't.
That's a bunch of baloney. However, speaking from someone that is really terrible at them, but they're good for different things than strict pull-ups. They're good for getting through your high number of reps, in a shorter amount of time, and you fatigue less easily when you do the kipping because you use that swinging
economy of motion is what we call it in Kung Fu.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got to get yourself some of that.
So, be honest.
All right.
How likely do you think it is that I'll be able to do a muscle up in my life?
I think it's very likely.
Are you just being a supportive wife right
now?
now?
No, I was watching your rippling muscles when you were leading your forums yesterday, and I was like, dang. He's looking good. And you have, I really think wholeheartedly that you can do that. And it's funny because it's also one of my goals. So we could work on it together. But I think you have a likelihood because you have so little body fat and you are really, your muscle is good and useful. I know it sounds weird, but do you know what I mean? Great. It's not like just some hugely inflated bicep for no reason. Like you are overall.
There's purpose to my bicep.
No, do you know what I mean though? You have useful muscle mass, and you just have to be really smart because it's so much.
What do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean.
I just feel like when you, I hope I don't alienate anyone, but I just think about people that do maybe some of the competition figure and that kind of thing, and where it's really all about aesthetics rather than the use of your body. And you do things that are good at using your body for functional reasons, I guess, which is also the goal of CrossFit. And so I think that, and coupled with your lithe fatless form, sets up a recipe for success.
Well, cool. I appreciate the encouragement.
But it's deceiving because you think okay, if I can do a pull up and a press, tricep press,
individually,
and it's not at all the same movement whatsoever, and and all the Olympic lifts, like the snatch and everything that we work on.
Which one is the snatch?
It's where you crouch down and pull it off the ground and fling it up over your head.
Over.
And behind
not
you,
at the collarbone.
And it hits the person behind you. Just kidding.
So
no, up over your head, you're extended.
From floor to ceiling.
Right.
Immediately.
And so besides being just hard physically, it's if you're doing it properly, there are so many steps to it that you're just thinking so hard. And so it's not easy to do that, because to do it properly, you have to really use your brain a whole bunch. So
yeah, I get what you're saying about the difference between doing a full motion like that versus doing just a tricep push or dip or or whatever. Because when you do a functional movement like that, you're using all sorts of other stabilizers that you wouldn't typically use in in like a free weight situation when you're doing body weight stuff. Anyway, that's just my observation.
That's one of the best things about CrossFit, I think, is that their goal of, functional fitness is, like, I see it played out every day a million times in my life, and it makes you feel just so much better in your body. What
do you mean? You see it play out? Like,
well,
is there a specific...
I mean, like, last year when we were buying that furniture and trying to load it into the car, and it was like car furniture Tetris, and there was one point where we basically had to
unbox
do a squat clean with
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just felt like I couldn't, if I didn't train the way that I did, I wouldn't have been able to do that, because I knew how to move my body to make the movement efficient.
And you're always lifting people.
Yes, with one hand.
Yeah, right up over your head.
People try to help me. I'm like, get away. I do CrossFit. Just kidding. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it worked, with a real physical job. And so, it's just nice to know how to use your body to make it work for you.
Do you ever think when you're helping a patient, like out of the bed or out of a wheelchair or something, do you think more about how, like, the form than you are about the patient? Like,
well, I wouldn't say more about the form. It doesn't enter my mind, but
yeah, like this is a sweet curl or something, like.
I'm curling Granny up out of the wheelchair. Oh gosh,
Granny curls is what we call those in the profession.
No, so I don't think about it more than the patient, but I do, think about it, and it helps.
Well, yeah,
me
I mean, you're making the connection.
Yeah, it helps me
just
use
like you
my
are now.
body more effectively.
Well, that's cool.
And it just makes you really, really confident.
And how do you feel about... We'll probably have you back for another episode and get into this a little more in depth, but just on the surface, what's your argument in rebuttal to the people that complain about girls being strong? You know what I mean? Kind of there's a real chauvinistic kind of view about girls that lift heavy and that you can't be feminine and be,
I feel sad for the people that think that way, because it's not true. And I think that being confident is one of the most appealing, feminine or masculine, it's one of the most appealing qualities a person can have. Yeah. And there's not too much in my life that informs my confidence more than, oh man, I really just hit that heavy lift, and I didn't know if I could, but I just always pray right before and give it my best, and if I do it, it's like that just gives me that extra little bit of spring in my step, I guess, the rest of the day. And so I think that would be my argument, is I would feel sad for someone that might think that way, because it's not true.
So you're thinking about people missing out on all these little victories that would give them a better view of themselves. Yeah,
I don't think I understood your question, because I thought you just were talking about like bros thinking that.
Bros and girls. I mean, they're like, we've had people come in through here that Mike wants to get them on a weightlifting routine to help them achieve their goals, and they're reluctant or flat out refuse because they don't want to have big muscles. Oh,
I see what you mean. Yeah, then definitely I would, same feeling. I would feel so sad for what a girl could miss out on, because it just...
Do you feel like there's any warrant to that argument? Like,
no.
Because my understanding is that lifting heavy does not necessarily mean you will get big muscles.
Oh, no, because girls don't make the testosterone to give us these massive biceps or whatever. You can get like pretty big biceps and toned, but we're not going to turn into a man, because we don't have man hormones. And so know that you can't, I mean, if you're just like doing cardio day in, day out, nothing else, you're not going to build any of the lean muscle you need to burn your fat. And so you're not going to really improve your muscle mass at all. And so you have to give yourself, like, muscle is kind of the engine for fat burning, and you have to so if you don't have any lean muscle on your body, which is what we're all going for, that is the most effective fat burning thing that you can have. And so if you just do cardio forever with no resistance training, because that's how your muscles break down and grow, you're not really going to improve your body composition at all, because you need that resistance training to build muscle and burn the fat. So.
And that's coming from somebody who also likes to run.
Yeah, I like to run.
I'm just trying to preemptively fight off the hitters that are all about the running and not the. Yeah,
no, I think about it this way, because depending on how much time I have, like I said, will dictate sometimes what I do, and I just feel like any way I'm moving my body and pumping my heart is going to help me. So there's benefit in every type of exercise.
I think that's a fair point.
Thank you.
CrossFit's expensive.
Worth it.
What if somebody can't afford it? What would you tell? Like, is there something that people can be doing?
Yeah, you can go online and find a ton of CrossFit workouts that you can just do at home that don't need any equipment or anything.
Like on YouTube, or what do you mean?
I just, sometimes when I am not able to make it over to we call it the box, our gym, because of timeline of my workday or whatever, then I'll look online, and the girls' workouts, and so they all have girl names, and like Cindy, for example, 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats, as many rounds as possible.
And is that all body weight?
Mm-hmm. It's all body weight. And so you're getting, some resistance training, and your heart is just pounding away. And, you can do that anywhere. So it's fun at, like, my CrossFit. We do usually a real good warm-up, some skill work, and then, like we've been doing today, we worked on 5 rounds of 3 reps of 90% of your 1 rep max of squats. And then we went on to the metabolic conditioning. So that was kind of a separate workout. And so you have kind of your strength component and your cardio. Well, it was cardio and strength, but it's just real wide reaching and varied and fun.
Why do they have girl workouts?
They also have hero workouts, which are...
But explain...
That's just the girls' names. I don't remember.
But
the
it's
exact...
not like this workout is for girls only, and there's a separate one for guys.
No, it's girls' names, and everybody does them, and they're like horrifying. So they're really hard. Fran is the worst. Just look up Fran and throw up, because it's the worst.
FRAN. Mm-hmm. And so, what are the hero ones?
The hero ones, like Murph, we do on Memorial Day, and they name them after like fallen soldiers and stuff. So Murph it's a mile run. If I'm remembering right, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then another mile run. And if you're real kooky, people do it in like a weighted vest. So that'd be like RX Plus. And it's like there's a lot of focus on philanthropy, doing good, supporting military people, and my CrossFit is really involved with the Everyday Warrior, which is a organization that gives money to families with people dealing with cancer, and not necessarily for one specific thing. It like gives them donations of money because it's really expensive and bills happen, and so it makes me proud to be part of that.
That's cool. So is there anything else that you want to applaud us for or berate us for about our talk of CrossFit?
No, I don't think so.
Any other points you want to make?
I thought it was nice and very kindly objective. I appreciated that. I thought it was good. And I read a quote one time, and I would like to share it because I think it will sum up.
And that's all the time we have today. Thanks for listening. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Hilarious. CrossFit is the only sport where the loudest cheers are for the last finisher. And I think that is it's such a community. They support everyone brand new or, a veteran, and it feels like a family to me. And so I'm thankful for that, because it really helps with the workouts that are so horrible.
That's really cool. And I do remember that when you first started, that was kind of one of the things that really got you fired up about it, was how supportive everyone was.
They're nice to me there.
And I feel it's the same way, even though they're completely different, CrossFit and boot camps. I still feel there's that same kind of camaraderie, and I always say this: you're in the trenches together, so to speak, and you get ugly together, and it's kind of a bonding experience. And I do think that that's an important aspect for when people are trying to do something new and something difficult, to have that support. Because if you don't have it in the activity and you don't have it at home, you're not going to keep going. You're not going to succeed, I feel.
Shared joy is double joy. Shared sorrow is half sorrow. Wow. I've got a lot of truth to share with you guys right now.
Yeah.
No, I did not make that up. I think I got it from Chicken Soup for the Soul. But it's like a Swedish proverb or something. But it's true.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, cool. Well, we spent an awful lot of time talking about you. Do you have any questions for me now that you have me here and we can document it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you think of me? No, I'm just joking. What's your...
So what are you thinking right now?
My brother. I know that you also enjoy a lot of different types of activity. And I was wondering, what is your favorite?
Smiling.
Oh, brother.
Thanks.
I know you're happy. Because you're smiling.
You can't use other podcast jokes.
I've been wanting to say that's been podcast like 500 times.
I don't know what my favorite is. I think it depends on the day and my energy level. I think the freshness of jiu-jitsu is kind of got me really excited about that. But I think more generally martial arts,
You are always jazzed about your jits.
Yeah. Yep. I walk in with waving my hands around. I think more broadly martial arts, but I don't know. I don't think I can answer that question, because I'm enjoying weights now. I haven't done that before, and doing the boot camps and stuff.
Yeah.
And
it's so...
And now that you're into bike riding, that's been fun for us to do together.
Because when you ride your bike or when you run, it just feels so free. It's just such a blessing to be able to move and, hurdle your body through space and time. And then lifting weights is so fun, because for people like us that really thrive on challenge, it's very simple. Just pick this thing up. Just move this thing.
And can you pick up more than you did last time?
Yeah, just try a little bit harder. And I feel like it's not that hard to dig a little bit deeper in yourself and say, 5 more pounds, I could do that, And so it's just, both of those types of activities really speak to the type of people we are, I think.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Oh, good. I want to break down the each amino acid.
In the chain. You want to break down the chain?
Let's talk we're going to get real about leucine today on Modern Era Fitness.
Yeah. Are they really any good? I mean, BCAA's given them before or after?
Yes, because, let me try to remember exactly why.
And for those of you that don't know, it's BCAA stands for branch chain amino acids.
And I'm
and those are the things that your muscle uses.
So amino acids are the building blocks of muscle.
That's
and
what I thought.
So there's not you cannot make every amino acid that you need. Some you have to get outside of yourself. And so the BCAAs they're the 3 that have been identified as being most effective in like muscle recovery and building muscle, and they help with energy, and they're just I mean the first day I ever got a double under was the first day I took my BCAAs, so I can't help it.
Not sure there's a causation.
But anyway, so I, as I mentioned before, it's time for my snack, and so my science brain isn't as clear as it sometimes is.
So you could use some BCAAs.
Yeah, I could pop a couple pills right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have noticed a difference, and I just, whether it's placebo or not, it's made a difference to me, and I recommend them.
Well, there you go.
And also sometimes
Nurse Kelly supports BCAAs.
Yes, I do. Sometimes if my stomach is funny or my appetite is funny, but I know I need to get my protein in. It's not the same as eating like a good protein source, like an egg, but I'll pop a few BCAAs and feel a little bit better about myself.
Well, all right.
I do have one more thing to say. Please wear a helmet. That's all. No, when you skateboard or ride your bike, please wear a helmet.
Or a rollerblade.
Rollerblade.
Let's not.
Or any other wheeled activity.
Yeah. Hoverboard. That should mean a little bit more coming from an emergency room nurse because she sees the aftermath of you jokers that don't wear helmets. Anyway. Well, anything else you want to put out into the ether?
Yes. I'm trying to think how I want to say it. It sounds kind of corny anyway that I try to shape it, but believe in yourself because you're a lot stronger than you think you are. So just try.
Me?
No, everyone in general.
Oh, okay.
I hear a lot of people, everybody hears a lot of people say like, oh, I couldn't do this or that. Well, why not? Who told you that?
Did
and why
you
did
try?
they lie? Yeah, just try.
That's good.
That's true. You can do it. Thanks for asking me some questions.
Yeah. And we'll be sure to get you on again because I know Mike wants to pick your brain too. So.
Oh, it's just full of useful information for you.
Do you want people to follow you on Instagram or anything?
If you want.
What's your Instagram handle?
Hood Hooray.
At Hood Hooray. Mm-hmm. HOOD.
You're in for a real thrill ride, let me tell you.
Spell hooray.
HOORAY.
Yeah, so Hood Hooray on Instagram.
I hope you like pictures of Caleb, because it's all pictures of me and Caleb. Enjoy.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of Mike or this guy, you can email us at modernarafitnesspodcast@gmail.com, or you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, at MEF Podcast, or you can find us on Facebook. Until next time, guys and gals.
Live in a good place. Keep your mind deep. Work when it's time.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, this is just a delight.